Hi, I'm Laura, a solution architect here at Matillion. Today we're going to look at bringing data from Google Analytics into Redshift using Matillion. So, let's get started. The Google Analytics query component exists within an orchestration job in the Load Unload Components folder, and then within the CRM and Marketing Automation folder. We can select the component and drag it onto the screen where required. After connecting it up to the Start component, we're ready to configure the properties of this component. In order for Matillion to access the Google Analytics data, authentication is required. This can be set up in Matillion in the Project menu under Manage OAuth. Further details on configuring this is available from our support centre. Once we've configured the authentication, we can select it in the Google Analytics query component. Next, we can select the data source. This is the object from which we wish to bring back our Google Analytics data. Today, I'm going to bring back some traffic data. Now we can select which dimensions and measures we want to bring back from that data source. I will select the date, the country, city and browser, and also the number of users, as well as the bounce rate. Please note, Google Analytics limits the number of dimensions and measures you can bring back in one query. I can filter this data to show me only the 2016 data. I can add a limit to the data, so rather than just bringing back 100 rows, let me bring back a maximum of 100,000 rows. In the connection options, I need to set my Google Analytics profile number. And finally, I need to give the target table in my Redshift database that I want to create when this component is run. And we need an S3 staging area to stage the data via. Now the component has turned green because it's been validated. We can simply right-click on the component and we can run this component. We can monitor the progress of the run in the tasks pane here. So here we can see we've staged 10,000 rows of data, and it took just 11 seconds to copy that data down into a new table in Redshift. We can now view this data in a transformation job. We can read the data in using a table input component. I can select my GA traffic table, and let's bring through all columns from this table. We can sample this data to see the data available. So here we can see the date, which country and which city the user was in, which browser the user was accessing, and how many users were on our web pages, and how many of those were new users. Now I can use the power of a Matillion transformation job to maybe aggregate up some of this data. So using the Aggregate Component, I can connect the data flow from the traffic into the aggregate. And let's say I want to see the number of users that we've got by country and by city. So we can group by country and by city. and we can choose to get the total number of users, and we can get how many on average of those are new users. So again, now that's turned green, we can resample this data, and now we can see some of this data we've got. So we can see which countries our users have visited our site from in the whole of 2016, how many users we had, and how many on average these were new users. We can choose this to write this data back out to Redshift if we wish, using one of our write components. We can do this either by creating a new table, writing this data to an existing table, or creating a view from this data. So that was how to bring data from Google Analytics into Redshift using Matillion. For more information or details on how to get started in Matillion, please visit us at matillion.com.